tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. So you can't do that.
There's a WTO case against India
Give me
right now.
Give me the countries, if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So India.
Mark it down. Which is.
US President Donald Trump has signaled that his administration is ready to consider fresh tariffs on Indian rice, accusing New Delhi of dumping cheap, subsidized grain into the American market, adversely affecting US farmers. At a White House roundtable to unveil a new multi-billion-dollar bailout package for US farmers, Trump was urged to hit back at cheap agricultural imports. Farmers complained that subsidized rice from India, Thailand and China was undercutting prices and battering local markets.
But I wish I was here under better terms. I'll tell you, I think the rice industry thanks you sincerely for what you have done for the California rice market and to Japan. It has been monumental for our industry, but us in the South are really struggling. I mean, this is not just a crisis. I would say it's almost a market dynamics that really are true anti-competitive nature, right? So it follows what you sent out this weekend. And we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
you want more. I mean,
they're cheating, right? They're they're just
Could
subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. So you can't do that.
There's a WTO case against India
Give me
now.
the countries, if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So India.
Mark it down. Which is good?
Yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you're
100%. Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
All right.
And
so
now
easy to settle. Okay.
But there's others too, and I can get you a full list.
Give me a full list. Yeah.
Of course, I can.
All right.
So
go ahead.
India is the world's largest rice exporter. In 2024-25, it shipped around 20 million tons of rice worth nearly $13 billion from premium basmati to bulk non-basmati varieties. US is a smaller but high-value basmati market, roughly 4 to 5% of India's basmati exports, about 2.6 lakh tons in 2024. A 50% tariff already in place on Indian goods has made these consignments more expensive and less competitive versus rivals. Now, with Trump openly floating fresh product-specific duties on Indian rice, exporters fear another hit to margins and a possible loss of shelf space in US supermarkets, just as floods and higher prices are already disrupting the global basmati trade. Trump's rice threat doesn't come in isolation. Since August, Washington has already slapped a punitive 50% tariff on a wide range of Indian exports, combining a 25% reciprocal duty with an extra 25% penalty linked to India's continued purchase of Russian oil. New Delhi has called those tariffs unfair, unjustified and unreasonable, warning that they risk triggering the worst US-India trade crisis in 2 decades. Indian exporters say margins are being squeezed, shipments have slowed, and smaller firms are already demanding support to survive the tariff shock.
Yes, we have today issues with the United States. A big part of it is the fact that we have not arrived at a landing ground for our trade discussions. And the inability so far to reach there has led to a certain tariff being levied on India. In addition, there is a second tariff, which we have said, we publicly said, we regard it as very unfair, which has picked on us for sourcing energy from Russia, when of course there are other countries who have done so, including countries who right now have a far more antagonistic relationship with Russia than we do.
PM Modi has already drawn a red line after Trump's tariff blitz, insisting that India will never compromise on the interests of its farmers, dairy producers and fishermen. Speaking at rallies and national addresses, Modi has framed the tariff fight as a test of India's strategic autonomy.
अपने किसानों का हित सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता है। भारत अपने किसानों के, पशुपालकों के और मछुआरे भाई बहनों के हितों के साथ कभी भी समझौता नहीं करेगा। और मैं जानता हूं, व्यक्तिगत रूप से मुझे बहुत बड़ी कीमत चुकानी पड़ेगी, लेकिन मैं इसके लिए तैयार हूं। मेरे देश के किसानों के लिए, मेरे देश के मछुआरों के लिए, मेरे देश के पशुपालकों के लिए आज भारत तैयार है।
Even as Trump threatens new levies on Indian rice, both sides are still talking. A senior U.S. delegation led by Deputy U.S. Trade Representative Rick Switzer lands in Delhi on December 10-11 to try and unfreeze a bilateral trade agreement.
The new Deputy U.S. Trade Representative, Ambassador Rick Switzer, he will be visiting India on 10th and 11th of December. This visit is a familiarization visit, as also to meet with senior officials in the Government of India. As you are aware, both governments remain engaged with a view to concluding a fair, balanced and mutually beneficial multi-sectoral bilateral trade agreement.
For now, India's rice exporters are staring at fresh uncertainty, US farmers are demanding even higher walls, and Trump is signaling that the tariff war is far from over.